Hi, I'm Sophia, and this is for the people who feel lonely, who feel alone, who feel like they don't really have anyone, and who see all the people around them in their friend groups going out with their friends, and maybe you haven't even been in a friend group in a while. Maybe that isolation you feel trapped in. So if that matches you, this is for you, and hopefully this helps at least one person. And keep watching to know if that person is you. So the first thing I wanted to say, being alone is something that a lot of people struggle with. I feel like it's a universal human experience. There's always been some point in all of our lives where we have felt alone and felt lonely and felt left out or like an outsider. And that's first thing, that you are not alone in experiencing that. So many people have. I have struggled with that a lot of my life. And these are the kind of things that I learned in the past couple years that I wish I knew when I was 13. So one major reason that a lot of people feel alone, and maybe they don't consciously realize that, is because when you are around people, there is a external validation that you get from that, because maybe to you that translates as, okay, so I'm seen, I'm cared for, I matter. And a lot of people don't realize that that's the validation they get when they're around people. So then when those people are gone, they feel like they don't matter, they're worthless, they're empty. And that's not the case. You don't need those people. A lot of us feel like there's no end in sight when they are experiencing loneliness. And I'm here to say that that's not true. Every single situation, every emotion, every experience is temporary. And when we're in the negative ones, we tend to hold on to them and not want to let them go. But if we just experience the emotions that we feel as clouds in the sky just passing through, and we pay attention to that, it's very easy to realize that everything is temporary, including feeling alone. And there is an end in sight, because nobody is alone forever. The place you are in now in your social life is not the peak, because again, I've seen so many people say that, like, especially young people, that when you're high school, college, you think that that's the peak of social life, of having friends, and that's just not the case. There are so many people who sought the same thing, but then they enter their 20s, and then that is when their social life blossoms. Like Billie Eilish, for example, it's only now, I saw it in an interview, it's only now that she feels like, you know, she has her friends, her people, and she's 23, 24, and it's just now that she's happy in her social life and is surrounded by people who, you know, there's a very loving relationship there. For the people who have goals they're trying to achieve, but just that's something that bothers them, is the fact that they don't really have many friends. You are not missing out on anything because you have different priorities than everyone else. That's something that helped me when I first heard it, and it's very true, because if everyone around you is going out, partying, having fun, but not doing anything productive that pushes you to the things you are trying to accomplish, you don't need them. They're different. They're at different places in life than you are. When you feel alone, when you feel lonely, that is a sign that you are in desperate need of yourself. Milk and Honey, poetry book. But that's very true, because another cause for loneliness is you being disconnected from yourself. You need to be pouring all that love you have for other people into yourself. You need to be building a relationship with yourself. That hole, that emptiness you feel when you're alone, other people being around you and you're using that to fill that hole, that's not a solution. As soon as those people are gone, guess what you're gonna feel? Building a relationship with yourself allows you to rely on yourself for that validation of I matter, I am seen, I am loved, I am cared for, so that when you're surrounded by more people, you don't rely on them to feel all of those things. A human being that exists on this planet, those things are a birthright, and you deserve to give that to yourself, because the only person that is going to fill that hole is you. There's nothing else. Not friends, not a romantic relationship, not anything your family could say, nothing. Everything in life is perspective. Being alone is a gift. That solitude is an opportunity for us to, like I said, pour that love into ourselves, build a relationship with ourselves, and to grow. And your people will find you. Soul tribe, they will find you when the time is right. Especially if, like, a lot of us don't shine in our light alone because we feel alone, and like that's scary. That's a scary thing to do. But when we do, we are just attracting the energy and the people that align with us. And when I say shine in our light alone, I mean doing the things that you love alone, going out alone and treating yourself alone. And a way that you can build that relationship with yourself and pour that love into yourself is by not neglecting your desires, doing the things that you love, incorporating the things that brought you joy when you were a kid, doing that more, bringing that into your current life, because the happiness that those activities bring you, it'll show. Yeah, and loving yourself and fixing the things that you say to yourself, because you should be treating yourself as if you were your own romantic partner, as if you were your own best friend, and saying the things that you would say to that person to yourself, because you deserve it too. And if you don't love yourself, you're not going to be able to love another person fully, deeply, and authentically, because you don't love yourself. So how would you love anybody else? Because everybody is a reflection of us. One way that you can do that is literally, I don't care if it's not true, say the things that you want, or the things that you want to feel about yourself, how you want to see yourself. Say it to yourself as if it was already true and happening every day. If you do that, things will shift and things will change. And even if it doesn't manifest whatever you're trying to, bring right away, you will. Okay, last thing. We create our own reality. If you chose to speak to yourself awfully, if you chose to make jokes about things that you don't want happening and then they happen, things like that you created because you spoke it out. Our words are very powerful sources of energy. We're never truly alone. We're never alone in anything. If you ever needed something, I'm sure you have the people in your life that you'd be able to ask, like family and, hopefully. And if you keep feeding in to that reality that you are alone, if you keep shutting the door on people trying to spend time with you, and you keep saying this, you keep repeating how you feel lonely, you're gonna manifest more of that into your life. So not everybody does this, but if you are, stop holding on to that pain, because maybe that is an experience for you that wanted to leave you, that wanted to end, but you held on to the experience and the pain of feeling alone. So of course it's not gonna go away. As long as you start living with your happiness and pleasure as a priority in your life and being selfish if you need to, your life can change. And when we feel lonely, it can feel very empty. So what you need to do to that hole is fill it with things that bring you joy, that bring your inner child joy, with things that excite you, with things that promote your health, like eat better, sleep enough, drink water. You know what you love to do. And if you don't really have any hobbies or don't have things that you enjoy, then do everything and find out what you love to do, what brings more passion into your life and what brings you joy. So yeah, that was everything I had to say about this. Hopefully it helped you. If it didn't, sorry. And there is so much more to life that will happen. There's so much more that you will experience. So don't mistake a bad day for a bad life. Because again, none of this has any inherent meaning. We give meaning to life. Take what resonates from this, leave what doesn't, and go forth, prosper,